Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop, and this is my performance review of the Curry brand Curry Hovr Splash 3. So I don't know what happened to the shoe, so I saw it. So basically I go on like the websites pretty much every single day to check if there's any new releases, right, for shoes. And it was on the Under Armour website. So I was like, ooh, let's get it because it's kind of like, you know, his budget shoe. What happened to the 3.0 line? That's kind of weird, right? It used to be the 3.0 line, but then they switched to the Hovr Splash, which is weird. But anyways, it was available on Under Armour, so I bought it, obviously. And then when I was gonna do the first impressions, it disappeared, right? Just because when I check on the tech specs and the price and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not anywhere. Yeah, I believe it's available in like Asia and overseas, but in the United States, it's not available anywhere, like on Under Armour, on Foot Locker, Finish Line. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know what happened to the shoe. But yeah, if you do want to cop, I try to leave an affiliate link in the description box. As far as the retail price goes, I believe it was like 110, 120 bucks, probably around there, maybe 100 bucks. But yeah, let's get it started off with the tracciones, and we got nubbies. We got nubs for traction, and we have, I thought it was like it looks like a pressure map kind of, right? Here in the forefoot and here in the heel with this like different color on the outsole, but it's just colored. It's not a different like density rubber or anything like that. But yeah, the traction absolutely sucks. The traction is terrible, right? So on a clean court, never really got an amazing bite. I would say it's okay. You know, it wasn't terrible. If you're playing on an immaculate court, you should be okay, right? It's not anything amazing though. But on dust, I was sliding around like crazy. I don't know what it is with nub traction patterns and people liking it, or like companies giving us nub traction pattern. Just stop giving us nubs, guys, just because first of all, it's not amazing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of nub traction patterns that I've tried, a majority of it I feel like hasn't been amazing, and then it's not durable. So yeah, it's just nubs. And if you're playing on an outdoor court, if you're playing on a hard surface, this will rip off. So durability, not good. And also I was sliding around all over the place when I was, you know, playing on a dusty court. And as you guys can see, look at how close together the nubs are. Right? It just traps all that dust and dirt, and just like it's really hard to wipe off as well. So yeah, if you're playing on a dusty court, this definitely is not the best option. And I'm playing on like LA Fitness and 24-hour fitness court, so yeah, not the best for traction, and I was pretty damn disappointed, and I was not having a good time playing in this shoe because of that, right? Just because traction for me is very important. Now moving on to the heel to toe transition, it's very smooth in the shoe, right? So here in the heel we have a nice curved shape, and we have a fully exposed Hovr midsole, and then in the forefoot we have a crazy curved shape, which I love, like how Under Armour gives us really curved shapes here in the forefoot, just because, you know, when I'm shooting, I like to be more, or you're supposed to be more on your toes when you're shooting, right? That's kind of what you're supposed to be doing. You don't want to be flat-footed, so it just like helps to keep you on your toes, and it feels really nice for me personally when I do shoot, right? And then in the forefoot we have a good amount of forefoot flex as well. So overall heel to toe transition is super duper smooth. And segueing into the cushioning setup. The cushioning setup is definitely one of my favorite parts about the shoe. I don't know what they did differently, just because other basketball shoes that Under Armour has given us in the past with full hover hasn't been nice. You know, like I believe in like the Hovr Havoc line, it wasn't amazing either, but in the Hovr Splash, like the 3 and also the 2, if I remember correctly, it's really nice. The Hovr, it's soft. I wouldn't say it's like super bouncy. Maybe there's a little bit of rebound, but it's more on the softer side of things, but it's really comfortable. So as far as the insole goes, the insole isn't anything amazing, honestly. It's just a regular like Ortholite insole, but underneath that, it's weird just because like the stroke board is like on the stiffer side of things. Now, it's not super hard or anything like that, but it is kind of stiff. But then step and comfort also still feels pretty damn nice in this shoe, right? So yeah, step and comfort is comfortable, and also here in the heel and also in the forefoot, like you have a good amount of compression. It's soft. Impact protection is also really good, and it still has pretty good court feel as well. So overall, the cushioning setup's great. You know, I had no issues with the cushioning setup. I feel like most people will enjoy it, unless like you want something extremely crazy, like something super soft or something super bouncy or something like that. But if you want like a responsive cushioning setup with adequate impact protection and something that has a good amount of compression and is comfortable, this is a great cushioning setup, right? Now moving on to the materials, so we have mesh, right? And we have a very open mesh, and then underneath that we have another mesh material. So yeah, it's not supportive at all, which we'll get into in support, but it does stretch a good amount, which does not feel good. It's really comfortable, as in like it's thin, it conforms to your foot really well, and I guess like there is a little bit of puff to it as well, so it does make it feel like kind of cozy, which is comfortable on foot. So I do like the overall upper, I guess, like on how it feels on foot. It's just support wasn't great, right? And then here in the midfoot, it's still extremely thin, and then we have these like plastic kind of V shapes on the lateral and also medial sides, right? Where the laces go through. And then for the tongue, we do have like a little bit more than average amount of padding. It's also a half-booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. And then here in the ankle area, we do have a good amount of padding as well, which feels pretty comfortable, especially here in the back of the shoe. And we have a very high heel tab, which makes the shoe super easy to put on as well. So I guess like quality, like open mesh like this never feels super quality to me. It does feel like on the cheaper side of things, but it is a budget shoe, so that does make sense. But I guess like, you know, like I said, it feels nice on foot. It feels nice on foot. It's just the support, which was really bad, right? So there is the material there. Moving on to the fit, I went true to size, and it fits pretty damn short, right? As you guys can see, it is kind of stumpy. It does, it's pretty flat here, right? It reminds me a little bit of the Curry 8 as well. So for most people, I'll suggest going up half a size, just because my toes are like right there, right? It was getting squeezed actually a little bit. So it was even a little short for me, even though I do like a really snug fit, right? So most people probably go up half a size. If you have a wide foot or you want a roomy fit, then probably go up a full size, right? But also here in the toe box, it's a nice snug fit, kind of, right? It's not super snug or anything, but I would say it's like a slightly more snug than normal, right? However, like I said, this mesh material is really stretchy, and it's not super supportive. So there's a good amount of stretch to it. So because of that, I could curl my toes up a good amount when I wanted to curl my toes up. So yeah, it's just a weird fitting shoe because of this material. As far as the width goes, I would say it's around slightly narrow to normal. So yeah, the fit was not amazing for me, right? Even though like when I got it at first, yeah, it was pretty good, but also this mesh material does stretch out when you break it in, right? So it got even roomier for me. And now moving on to the support and lockdown. So support was absolutely horrendous in this shoe, right? So yeah, lateral containment, I could feel my foot, especially here in the forefoot, like hitting this material and kind of like rolling over like crazy, right? So look at that, right? It just stretches here, and also like I said, it's stretchy here as well. So it just, my foot was moving inside of the shoe as well a good amount. So here in the forefoot, it was not good. And here in the heel, obviously there's an internal TPU heel counter, so that was fine. But here in the forefoot, it was not good at all. And for me, like I'm a lighter dude, and I do need support, right? But not a crazy amount of support. So yeah, if it's bad for me, it's gonna be bad for probably most people. So lateral containment, not good. Lateral stability, was good to go. You know, there's nothing crazy as far as an outrigger goes, right? But you do have a pretty like wide base. So I didn't really feel laterally unstable or anything like that. It's just the overall material and also like lateral containment. My foot was moving inside of the shoe a good amount, right? Especially on hard lateral movement. So, and coupling that with the bad traction, you know, not the best combo, right? All right, moving on to the weight of the shoe. If I remember correctly, it's like around average, maybe a little bit lighter. Yeah, so 11.43 ounces. Let's check the other shoe, 11.71 ounces, right? So yeah, the average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces, so that's pretty damn light. Yeah, it feels really light. It feels very comfortable on foot. And, you know, the upper feels super minimal as well. It's just not a responsive shoe. The traction, not good. The support, not good. Like my foot was moving inside of the shoe. So when I was trying to be very responsive, right? When I was doing lateral movements, like very hard lateral movements, cuts, I was trying to, you know, it's because I'm smaller, I rely on my speed a lot. This shoe did not feel super responsive to me. So yeah, because of that, I didn't really enjoy playing the shoe all too much. Ventilation is really good though. Ventilation, you know, you have this very open mesh and you have a lot of airflow through this entire mesh upper. So ventilation is very good. And as far as the aesthetics, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this colorway is absolutely amazing. It's just all white with this like gold trim, right? But the overall silhouette, I don't think it looks too good. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah, don't get it. Don't get this shoe. Not great, and it's a pretty big disappointment from the Curry Hovr Splash 2 and also the 1, just because those were really nice. I had no issues with support, and also the traction was way better. So yeah, I don't know why they switched to nubbies, but my favorite part about the shoe is the cushion. If you want something comfortable, however, this is a very comfortable shoe. But if you prioritize traction or support, which I feel like a lot or most people probably do when they're playing basketball, this shoe is not it, right? So yeah, this shoe I probably will not play in again. This will definitely not be in my rotations because I did not enjoy playing in it at all. So anyways, that about concludes my performance review of the Curry Hovr Splash 3. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave the affiliate link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.